holiday months. Go to www.justship.net now and take the aggravation out of shipping. Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. And the final couple segments of a Tuesday show. Some headlines that I saw that made me go, I want to talk with you about. If you want to call in, 622-9622 is the number to call. This is a Florida man. Every story that starts with Florida man is a great story. A 26-year-old Florida man has been accused of stealing a bulldozer from a construction site, driving it into a neighborhood, and knocking down campaign signs for Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, according to authorities and homeowners. The man took the bulldozer in Haines City, Florida on Saturday and repeatedly destroyed Biden signs in full view of people who live in the neighborhood, witnesses said. James Blight was charged with grand theft auto and trespassing. Former Vice Mayor Adam Burgess lives in the Central Florida neighborhood, which he said is predominantly black. He called it a hate crime. So he just went and took a bulldozer and decided he would go wreak havoc on poor unsuspecting people who just were out and about in their yards and everything. And this moron went and run signs over through their yard with a bulldozer. I don't care whether it was Biden signs, Trump signs, whatever. You're a moron for doing that. I mean, how just ignorant can a person be to go steal a bulldozer and in front of God and everybody just run over signs in people's yards? What the hell is wrong with people? A U.S. Postal Service worker, another Florida story, a U.S. Postal Service carrier is accused of stealing Miami-Dade mail-in ballots, 10 gift cards, and 4 prepaid debit cards, according to federal authorities. A federal complaint filed by the U.S. Postal Service Office of Inspector General said that between October 5th and 16th, Crystal Nicole Myrie embezzled letters, postal cards, and mail which came into her possession intended to be carried or delivered by her. The mail-in ballot had been sent to a resident by the Miami-Dade Supervisor of Elections Office on October 6th. Myrie made her first appearance in federal court on Monday. An attorney for her was not listed on the court docket, and it wasn't immediately clear whether she entered a plea or not. On Friday, 2 postal inspector agents questioned Myrie, who admitted to stealing several prepaid debit cards that were supposed to be delivered to a customer on her route and using them at retail stores. After the interview, the investigators told Myrie she would have to turn in her postal identification. She told them her ID was in her car. They asked if there was mail or other items in her car, and at first she told them no. She then changed her answer to yes. Upon approaching the vehicle, one agent observed in plain view through a rear window several postal service satchels containing white envelopes in the back seat of her personal vehicle. She's not authorized to deliver mail from her personal vehicle. So here was a woman that one of the ballots was a mail-in ballot she stole, but I'm pretty sure she was just stealing prepaid debit cards and gift cards, and the mail-in ballot was in there. But, I mean, really? You're trusted with delivering the mail, and you think the answer is to steal the mail because there's prepaid debit cards and gift cards? And think about the good living, postal, to get a job as a postal worker, you're not making chump change. It's not $8.35 an hour minimum wage, and now that's all down the drain, and you're facing federal charges. What the hell is wrong with people? A Florida woman's lottery luck may have run out now that she's learning she may have to forfeit her prize after her winning ticket got lost in the mail. That sounds like a likely story. Sue Burgess told WFLA that officials in Tallahassee told her no ticket and no prize. That makes sense. The Second Chance Lottery Prize gives winners limited time to turn in the ticket to claim the prize. Their options are to either put the ticket in a drop box at a local lottery office, which were not open to the public due to the coronavirus pandemic, or mail them to the headquarters. Burgess told WFLA that she felt it would be safer to send the ticket via certified mail with the U.S. Postal Service. The tracking information shows the ticket arrived at the Tallahassee post office at 7:12 a.m. on August 2nd, but the online tracking shows the ticket was never delivered to the lottery office. Well, when Burgess called, lottery official told her that without a ticket, the prize would go to an alternate winner. In a second chance game, the lottery has a record of winners because players register their names and contact information. Burgess told WFLA she was notified she won by a lottery official who called to give her the good news. Typically, lottery winners of more than $600 can submit winning tickets in person at their local lottery office, but because of COVID-19, offices are closed to the public. Burgess says she was told she could send the ticket via certified mail or leave the ticket in a drop box at the local lottery office. She said there was a 1-week time frame to submit the ticket. She missed an email about being a winner, and by the time the office called her, she only had the days to get the ticket postmarked. That's why you choose certified mail, she told the station. With COVID, I understand the mail is a little bit slow, but for safety's sake, certified mail usually has priority. Lottery officials told WFLA the claim was never received at the headquarters. The claims department told Burgess to contact the Postal Service to find out what happened to the letter. The Postal Service are now investigating. In a statement to the WFLA, the Postal Service offered an apology to Burgess for any inconvenience. You mean like not getting her $1,000 she's supposed to get? If the package arrives, lottery officials told WFLA that they would bend the rules and pay Burgess the $1,000 if the postmark was by the original deadline date. So that's a quintessential, hey, checks in the mail, money's in the mail, lottery tickets in the mail, but nobody knows where the mail is. And finally, this is it. Talking about an old penny. A North Carolina man using his metal detector near a Maine church unearthed a copper penny dating from the year 1798. That's right, you heard that right. Using a metal detector, a North Carolina man unearthed a copper penny dating from the year 1798. So what's that, 200 years and then 222-year-old penny. Shane Houston said he and a friend from New Hampshire were on a metal detecting trip when they got permission to search the grounds outside a church in Maine. Houston said his most interesting discovery was an old copper penny from the first decade of money minted by the United States. The coin, which is about the size of a modern half dollar. So back in the day, a penny was about the size of a modern half dollar. It bears the image of Lady Liberty on one side and 1 cent on the tail side. Similar coins have sold for about $200 recently, but Shane says he plans on keeping the coin for his own collection. He's not revealing where the exact location of the church is because he wants to return to search that area again without anybody knowing about it. So, guy found a 222-year-old penny, and it's worth about $200. You know, if you got some of those old wheat pennies laying around there, you want to talk about some pennies that are worth some money. You get some of those old wheat pennies, like a 1943 Denver struck wheat penny. Some of them are selling for, one of them sold for $1.2 million. There's a 1910 D Denver mint penny that if you find the right ones of those, it's sold for $105,000 at auction. So, you know, a penny's worth a little more than that if you get some of those wheat pennies. The wheat pennies from the 50s, there's some of those worth $400, $500, $600. So, you know, it all depends on how they were struck and whether they were struck early and they got ridges and stuff. There's a lot that goes into it, but the fact that you could have a wheat penny laying around in an ashtray or in a coffee can somewhere that's worth $105,000, $110,000, I think that makes it worth pulling out my pennies to see if I got, you know, something worth some money. So if any of y'all got old wheat pennies laying around, you can Google the price of wheat pennies and see that you can get quite a good check if you got the right kind of wheat pennies. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have an interview. It's right here. We'll have an interview with Dr. Alka Chandna. We're going to talk about the use of monkeys in laboratory experiments and why that needs to stop. We'll do that next on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Right here in town, it's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast,
Yum, yum.
a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Today in Ag News on the Southeast Ag Network. Late last week, USDA released the final rule for its Environmental Quality Incentives Program, otherwise known as EQIP. The rule updates USDA's flagship program as directed by the 2018 Farm Bill, and it also integrates feedback from ag producers and others. USDA's Natural Resources Conservation